Can pack your belongings. You'll be leaving for Wentworth in half an hour.
Will B and Chrissy be coming with us, Mrs. F?
Of course. Why would we want to leave them locked up in a men's prison? Now, hurry it up. The bus will be here, and I want you all to be ready.
We're not going to leave all this booze behind, are we? No way. I've worked that one out. Empty your hot water bottles, girls, because you won't be warming your feet with them tonight.
The fire spread so rapidly because it came in contact with turps, which was left in an electrical storeroom, quite against regulations, I believe.
It has nothing to do with it. If one of the women hadn't thrown that Molotov cocktail, the whole thing wouldn't have happened.
Oh, I agree. But it is against regulations, you must admit.
Oh, bloody hell. Oh, that bitch. Thieving little bitch!
What the hell's going on?
It's Hazel. She's nicked me cash.
I thought you said you didn't have any money.
Well, I did. What I'd put away for a rainy day, and it's gone. The whole damn lot.
She was desperate to get them back. Barbara had stolen them. Apparently they made very interesting reading. All about bribery and corruption.
For heaven's sake, the woman's obviously telling a pack of lies.
Really? And where had Miss Fields actually hidden the diaries?
In the governor's office. She was probably trying to get them
You
back.
produced these diaries?
Well, of course not. They've been burnt, along with Barbara.
Well, then I don't see how...
Any other reason why Fields would have been found in the governor's office when she died?
Well, no, but I
There
don't...
are a lot of buts in this case, Mr. Douglas, and a lot of issues that I intend to raise if my clients are charged.
Are you attempting to blackmail the department?
Only see that justice is done. Let's face it. If all this is made public, nobody is going to look good. So I suggest we come to some sort of agreement, for everyone's sake.
We've been to Woodridge, now we're home, parlez-vous. We missed the freak and that's a shame. The screws out there are really tame. Inky pinky parlez-vous.
All right, everybody, just shut up. We're getting out.
Hurry up. Come on, line up over there.
Oh, it doesn't look any different.
Of course it doesn't. Bloody bricks don't burn. It's probably real different inside, but they've probably done up our cells and everything.
Oh, I hope they put some wallpaper in mine, make it feel more like home.
Yeah, well, they probably padded yours, Gran. You cheeky little bugger.
Come on, ladies, please, just get inside.
Hey, happy to be back, Margot?
Oh, yeah, over the moon.
Now, just a minute, where are you going?
Well, where do you reckon? Have you any idea where that bitch hangs out?
Jean, you know Hazel might not have taken that money. There are plenty of other girls here who might have pinched it.
All right. I just want to find her and ask her whether she's seen it, that's all.
Listen, how much money was it?
Enough.
Was it hot?
No, it wasn't. Look, I thought you said I wasn't going to get the 3rd degree here.
Well, you won't get the 3rd degree as long as you're not doing anything illegal.
I'm not.
Well, then why don't we call the cops?
No. Look, why do you want to bring the pigs in on this?
Because I'm trying to protect the women that are here, that's why.
Well, forget it. I'll find them myself.
Oh, same old walls, same old doors. They've done nothing to the place at all.
Doesn't look like it. What you expect? Some bloody great murals.
What did get burned, Mrs. Evans? The ground and first floors mainly. Of course, the dining room and the rec room were badly damaged, as of course was the library.
Well, what about the laundry,
No, it's hardly touched.
Oh, God, are we going to work in that bloody rotten place again?
I'm afraid so, Lizzie. The workshop was badly damaged too. They had to take the printing press to be repaired.
Well, at least we don't have to sell those damn mailbags.
Thank you, Mrs. O'Regan. Yes, I appreciate that. Just do what you can. All right, Mrs. O'Regan, thank you very much.
Problems?
Oh, nothing that won't cause a major riot. The food truck hasn't arrived.
Oh, no.
Mrs. O'Regan has bread and tinned goods, but the meat and vegetable truck is not here yet. They claim they were told to arrive tomorrow.
And what about dinner?
Well, the women will just have to have sandwiches, I'm afraid. There's nothing else. Has the whole of H Block arrived?
Yes, I've assembled them in the rec room.
Oh, good. Well, come with me. I'm going to have a talk to them.
Oh, blimey.
Oh, God, it really makes you feel good to be back, eh? Well, what do you expect? Now, you'll stay here until cell allocation is given to you, and then you'll have dinner.
It's really depressing. Nothing in it.
What's up, love?
Oh, I don't know, Bea. Seems kind of funny. It's like being home, only it isn't home at all.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Took us a long time to put our mark on this joint. Remember what it was like when I first came here before Davo was governor?
Yeah, it was a dump then, love.
Yeah. Took us ages to get permission to even put photographs up on ourselves. Well, at least we won't have to fight Davo for that sort of thing. We'll have it looking like home again soon.
Well, I wouldn't mind being back at Woodridge.
Tisn't the best, is it? Oh. Hey, you were going to tell me what they called you both out for.
Lizzie, you wouldn't believe it.
Oh, just more questions about the fire, that's all. You know, I think they're trying to wear us down. Usual third degree.
Is that all?
Yeah, we're not going to tell the bastards nothing.
Hey, Lizzie, why don't you get a card game going and cheer everyone up?
Good idea. Oh, God, I wonder what I did with that pack of cards.
Well, someone must have brought them. Ask Margot or Maxie.
Yeah. No, I was too busy thinking about me hot water bottle.
What's the idea of shutting me up? We can tell Lizzie, she won't blab.
We are not telling a soul, Chrissy, no one. Do you understand? Look, Lizzie's my best friend, and I love her dearly. But her mouth runs away with her sometimes. The only way we're going to manage this deal with the department is not say a word. If they find out about it, they'll crucify us.
And what makes you think they won't do that anyway?
You seen the cards? They were in a little red pack. Sorry. You see them? Oh. Hey, Pat, have you seen the cards?
Me? No.
Oh, bugger it, they must have been left behind.
All right. Pay attention, all of you. Right. This is the cell allocation for this block. Cell 1, Brent and Kennedy. Cell 2, Dobbs, Young and Corbett. Cell 3, Gaffney. Cell 4 will be Smith, Latham and Lawson. Cell 5...
That figures, putting you and me
Wordsworth
together.
and
Well, how
Daniels.
come I'm not sharing with Lizzie?
Cell 6, Vaughan and Murray. All right. Now, the governor would like to have a few words with you.
Welcome to your new home, ladies. Unfortunately, not all the food deliveries arrived on time, so you'll have to make do with sandwiches for this evening's meal.
All right, that isn't... Shut up!
You're not going to starve to death. If it were not for the stupid behaviour of some of the women in this block, none of this would have happened. I warn you now, I'm not going to tolerate any more misconduct. I've been far too lenient in the past. You'll just have to learn you must give and take on both sides.
Well, you agree with that too.
What was that, Gaffney?
I said I agree with that too, Mrs. Davis.
As a token gesture, I am prepared to allow you a welcome back party tomorrow afternoon, providing all the work is done in the laundry by lunchtime. It's up to you.
Oh, thanks, Mrs. Davis. We really appreciate that, don't we, girls?
Hey, did you find her?
No, she's probably skipped town.
Jane, stop and think, will you? Hazel's had a really bad time the last couple of months.
Well, what do you want me to do? Send her a thank you note for running off with my dough?
Well, the cops could find her.
What is this with you? Are you a cop lover or something?
No, I'm just trying to protect the house, that's all. If the cops find out I've covered up for a robbery, they
How can they find out unless you tell them? If you do, I'll deny there was any money. But if ever I see that bitch again, keep out of it.
God, this is as bad as our first night in Woodridge.
Oh, I don't know. Don't think anyone's going to drop a baby tonight. Unless Lizzie's holding out on us.
Bloody marvellous. $5 I gave for that pack of cards and some silly bugger left them behind.
Yeah, well, don't blame me, because I didn't even see the flaming thing. They were your cards.
Well, I wasn't thinking, was I? I was too busy organising the grogs.
Keep your voice down. The screws here about you'll lose the hooch as well.
It's a bit rough that the department can't give us a pack of cards just to pass the time.
We won't get anything out of them. Anything we want, we'll get for ourselves.
Well, girls, just give me a list and I'll rock on down to Woolies and get 'em.
Oh, yeah, terrific.
That's not such a bad idea. I reckon Dave will do the spy stuff out of her own accounts. Judy could bring it in for us.
Yeah.
Well, go on, ask Mrs. Forrest.
Why me?
Go on. You know she can't resist you.
All right, I will.
Welcome to the new staff room.
Oh, I'll take your word for it. Oh, I see we've got the standard government issue lockers back again.
It's a pity they're not fireproof. I lost a damn good handbag and a couple of books in the other one.
Same old coffee, though.
Oh, sounds a bit crazy, but I'm glad to be back.
Away from Woodridge or Jeff Carlson?
He was a very nice man. Just not my type. I don't know. It's hard enough to handle a husband without taking on a lover as well. You ought to try it sometime.
I think I'll wait till my divorce is through.
Forgotten.
Well, the decree nisi is through. I'm just waiting on the final papers.
Mrs. Powell, the department has requested a full stock take tomorrow. There's a discrepancy in the figures.
Oh, OK, I'll arrange it.
Mrs. Davidson, Lizzie had quite a good idea this evening. She said some of the women are prepared to contribute some of their work money towards brightening up the rec room, you know, posters, that sort of thing. She thought perhaps Judy could organise it.
Well, I've no objection. I'll speak to Judy about it tonight. I was going to call into Driscoll House on the way home. Good night.
Good night.
What you doing?
Oh, I figured I'd make Lizzie a pack of cards. Didn't have any cardboard butts, so I had to use paper.
Oh, well, how are you going to shuffle them?
Hey! Oh, I never thought of that. Oh, don't worry, I'll think of something. Here you've got diamonds and clouds.
I've been thinking. This deal, do you think the screws are going to buy it?
Well, that's worth a try. Look, they'd been the poo with the newspapers, right? That fire was big news. I reckon they'll avoid bad publicity at all costs.
Just a bit worried, that's all.
Oh, come on, Chrissy. What have we got to lose?
Well, you might have given up all hope of getting out of here, but I haven't.
Hey, Lizzie, fancy a game of cards?
Bag of the cards? Who's for a drink?
She just told me that. Hey, look, here we go.
Oh, Chris.
Oh, God, I thought you said you'd shuffle these, Maxine.
Well, I did the best that I could.
Here I go, love, is it?
Not a bad drop, eh?
Yeah, don't mind the rubbery taste.
It's strong enough to melt the inside of me hot bottle.
Hot bottle, not a hot water bottle. Here, Maxie, I wish I had your couple of jacks there instead of my ace high.
Hey! How do you know what I got?
Well, love, they're only made of paper. You can see straight through. You don't even need to turn them around. Look, you can see there.
This little bugger's going to have to screw down all our necks in a minute.
No need to get high-tea-toasty.
Well, I made the cards, and if you don't want to play, that's fine by me.
Oh, love, don't get upset. I think it was a really good idea. Just didn't work out that.
Well, Lizzie, there's nothing else to do. And she's always picking on me. Oh, leave me alone.
What's going on?
Not sure. I think the boredom's getting at them.
Could be trouble. Start a fight with Ronnie.
Not funny.
No.
Did you ever go to school?
Oh, yes, of course.
All right, you let cut it out. Stop that fighting and you're arguing. I'm sick to death of it. Get back to your cells and calm down.
Come on, then.
I said back to your cells. Are you arguing with me?
Good luck.
And you, flaming grog, keep it out of sight.
OK, Smith. What is it? The bell doesn't go for another hour.
And they could kill each other by then. They are at each other's throats because they're out of their brains with boredom.
Cooperation at last.
Oh, yuck.
Oh, no worry, love. The longer you're in here, the better it tastes.
Yeah, it beats Lizzie's rock gut any time, doesn't it?
Does he make grog?
No. She makes alcoholic cleaning fluid. Won't drop and remove anything.
Oh, it's funny, isn't it? When you look back, we've had some right old high times in this dump.
Oh, yeah. I can't remember any of them. Listen, you still seeing Wiseman?
Oh, yeah, every now and then. And he's real happy with the way I'm going, but he's still going to refer me to another bloke when I get out. How long? 3 weeks? Yeah, about that. Lucky bitch.
Oh, come on. You'll be out of here soon. It'll pass real quick.
Will it?
Yeah, I reckon things are going to change around here. We've shown we're not going to be put down by the likes of Ferguson. If I got any sense, I'll send her to the men's prison. That's if she ever gets out of hospital. Screws didn't like her any more than we did.
Well, here's to Ferguson, then. May she rest in pieces.
Oh, amen to that.
Oh. I've got to hand it to those Woodridge blokes. They can make a fair drop.
Yeah, it's not bad. We're going with what you were saying.
What about?
You, and how long you been in here.
Oh, yeah. Like I was saying, when they found out that I hadn't really poisoned all those shearers, they had to let me go, and they gave me $30,000.
30 grand? Oh, you're kidding. Well, what happened to it? Did you lose it in a poker game?
No. I gave it to my little granddaughter to have a leg fixed in America. She needed it more than I did.
Well, that's a bit stupid. You should have kept enough to live on.
Don't worry about that. I still had a few bobbing me kick.
Why'd you come back, Lizzie?
I don't know. I was lonely, I suppose. Didn't have any work to do. No one to get me up in the mornings. I missed the place.
Struth, when I get out of here, you won't see me bum for dust.
Sure. And every time they catch you, your sentence will get longer and longer. And your friends on the outside don't hang about, you know.
So what? You can always make new ones.
Yeah. But you can't make a new family, and once you lose them, you lose them for good.
Well, it ain't my fault me oldies don't want to know me.
But they're still your family, love. Why don't you bury the hatchet and make it up? It's not too late.
Have another drink, Lizzie. Plenty more. And I haven't opened my bottle yet.
Come on, ladies, up and open. What's wrong, Daniels?
Oh, nothing, Mrs. M. I just hit me head on the bed when I was looking for me shoes.
You all right?
Of course she's all right. It's all in her imagination, Mrs. M.
What's the matter with everyone this morning? You all look as though you've had a night on the town.
Yeah, we all popped down to the Coco Rumba nightclub last night after lights out.
Oh, I've got to go to the loo.
What's up with her?
Morning sickness.
Mrs. Davidson went to see Judy about buying some things for the women. I understand she's coming in to see what you want this afternoon.
Oh, terrific. I'll have some of the girls make up a shopping list.
Come in. Shut the door, please, Mrs. Powell. I've just had a very interesting discussion with Ted Douglas.
Yes?
I understand there was a meeting with B. Smith and her solicitor at Woodridge, at which certain compromises were suggested.
Well, I thought you were aware of it.
I'm not psychic, Mrs. Powell.
But I thought Mr. Douglas would have told you.
Mr. Douglas quite correctly assumed that as my deputy governor, you would have made a confidential report at your earliest opportunity. He was amazed that I did not know.
Well, I'm sorry.
Considering the bad publicity this is likely to give the department, I'm surprised you didn't tell me straight away. I do not like this, Mrs. Powell. We should not have been placed in a position where we could be dictated to by the prisoners.
No, of course not.
There will have to be some changes in the prison, I'm afraid. I won't allow this to happen again.
There you are.
Morning, Mrs. Morris.
Hello, Judy. How are you?
Oh, not bad. I hear I'm wanted for shopping duty this morning. Oh, listen, I brought these in from the house. They're a bit ancient, but they might cheer up some of the cells.
Well, I'm sure they'll be appreciated. How's everything at Driscoll?
Oh, okay, you know, we have a few problems, but I guess it wouldn't be normal without that.
Know what you mean. I'm glad Hazel went to you for help. How is she?
Well, she's gone, I'm afraid.
Oh, no.
Yeah, she just shot through. She never said goodbye or anything.
Oh, poor Hazel. Now, there's one person who deserves a break.
Yeah. Oh, how did the move go from Woodridge?
Oh, well, there were one or two problems, but I'll let the women tell you about them. You better sign in first. Yes, madam.
I'd like to look at that camera, please.
That's a Minolta. It's got an automatic focus.
How does it work?
Well, I'm not too sure.
Well, how much does it cost then?
I think around $400. I'll just check.
Excuse me?
Just a second. Yes, $400.
Does it have a flash to go with it?
There should be.
Excuse me?
I won't be a moment. Sorry, sir, what's wrong?
Look, I bought this camera 2 days ago, and now the shutter won't release. Look.
Let me have a look. I'll have to phone the distributors.
Excuse me.
Hello, service department, please.
Hi, Lizzie.
G'day. Oh, Jude. G'day, Jude.
Hello,
It's the old lumberjack. How are you?
Oh, thanks, Margot. G'day, Jude. Hi, honey. What's wrong with you?
Come over, but don't let on.
Right, ladies, you've got 15 minutes and then it's back to the laundry. So make it quick.
Come on, girls. You've had time to make up your lists. Patty, collect them, will you? We'll go through them and select the most popular items. Oh, thanks for doing this for us, Jude.
It's my pleasure. You certainly look as though you can use a few things around here anyway.
Yeah, well, there's nothing left after the fire.
Can't be getting too boring, though, with all the hangovers.
Jude, do you reckon you could get a TV in for us?
Oh, I don't know, Lizzie. I don't think we're going to have enough money. Mrs. Davidson said we could only have $5 out of each woman's account.
All right, hang on. Don't get your knickers in a knot. It's early days yet. We'll get around that. Let's just concentrate on something to pass the time. Couldn't you get one from one of your contacts?
Yeah, sure. But not if you want one that works.
That would help. How's the house going?
Oh, okay, I guess. I'm having trouble with one of the ladies, though, a Jean Carter. She says she's a deserted wife, but I don't know. There's something very fishy about her.
Well, send her around to us. We'll straighten her out, won't we, girls?
Feels like it's been used for a football. Of course it does. That's powerful stuff I got, isn't it?
Oh, I don't reckon my innards are ever going to be the same again.
What you need is a hair of the dog. I'll get you dropped.
Oh, no.
Hang on. You go splashing it around like that, the screws will be onto it quick smart.
We don't want to waste it, it might evaporate or something.
No grog until the Savo. Might as well have a decent party and cheer our miserable selves up.
Yeah, but I reckon the screws will probably keep a really close eye on us, and I don't think we're going to get away with it.
And that is exactly why I asked Judy to bring in some soft drink. We'll spike the lemonade. But if you don't finish this lot by lunchtime, Davo won't let us have a party at all. So just keep your sticky nose out of it, will you?
Here's a few extra dollars for the soft drinks. You sure you don't want me to get them delivered?
Oh, no, I'll have to get a taxi anyway. Listen, could I get permission to just bring it straight up to the gate?
Yes, I'll tell the gate guard. Do you have much to bring in?
Well, that depends on how long the money spins out. You know, I really wish I could get the women a TV set.
Well, I have a black and white portable at home I could bring in, but it doesn't have a very big screen.
Oh, but that'd be great. They'd really appreciate that, Mrs. Davidson. It's the only contact they have with the outside.
I'm just as anxious to relieve their boredom as you are, Judy. Idle minds can cause a lot of trouble.
Oh, morning.
Morning, Mrs. Davidson.
Judy Bryant.
Oh, yes, of course. And, how's everything going?
Very well, thanks. Well, I better go and get my glad rags on for the party. Excuse me, I'll see you later.
Party? What are you talking about?
I've given the women permission to have a welcome back party.
Really, Erica, under the circumstances, I don't think that's advisable.
Ted, would you like to come along to my office? I don't think reception is the place to discuss it.
You really mean to tell me that your deputy governor hasn't told you all this?
Ted, she was busy organising the transfer from Woodridge. She's worked harder than any other officer.
It has nothing to do with it. First we have the business with the Terps, and now this.
Ted, I am just as much to blame for the breach of fire regulations as Mrs. Powell. I was here when the turpentine was delivered.
That's rubbish, and you know it. It was put in the storeroom.
No, Ted. I am not prepared to denigrate Mrs. Powell for one mistake.
It's a mistake that could put the department in a very bad position. Besides, the minister isn't too happy about being blackmailed by convicted criminals.
Then don't be blackmailed. Have Smith and Latham face a public trial. We've had bad publicity before. In a couple of weeks, the press will have forgotten all about it.
Yes, well, I agree, but unfortunately it's not my decision. I'm waiting on orders from the minister.
I suppose his position will be in jeopardy if this gets out.
Not only his, Erica.
G'day. Do you know where Judy is?
No, she had to go out somewhere.
Any idea when she'll be back?
No.
Do you know if there's a pawn shop around here?
Yeah, there's a couple. Don't go to the one on High Street. It's as tight as a shark's backside. There's a better one on Queen Street next to the milk bar.
Okay, thanks.
Hi, Jerry.
Hello, Judy. What's the celebration?
Oh, the women are having a welcome back party. I'm laying on the drinks.
Any excuse for a booze-up?
Hey, come on. You know everyone in here signed the pledge. How's Chrissy and B's case?
You know I can't talk about that.
Come on, just give us a hint. Is it good or bad?
Mr. Steele, Mr. Douglas is in the governor's office. He'll see you now.
Here's the drinks for the party. You want to check them out?
Oh, no, I haven't time, Judy. Carl, phone through at the staff room. Get Mrs. Barfield to take them in, will you? This way, please.
In answer to your question, things might work out okay. But if they don't, your friends are going to be in real trouble. Right up to their necks.
What's this solicitor like? Is he reasonable enough to talk around?
I doubt it. One of those legal whiz kids, very clever with words. Not one of the old school, unfortunately.
You don't think we could talk him out of this arrangement, appeal to his sense of propriety?
Good Lord, no. First hint of that, and he'd be straight around to one of those scandal rags. Ah, Mr. Steele, do come in, sit down. This is Mrs. Davidson, the governor of Wentworth.
Mr. Minchin, I presume you're aware of the situation?
Naturally. Mrs. Powell, would you bring Smith and Latham here, please?
Do you have any news for my clients, Mr. Douglas?
No, not as yet. Still waiting instructions from the minister.
Well, perhaps you could ring the minister's office. I do have another appointment in an hour.
Yes, of course.
Yeah, I wouldn't worry too much, Mrs. Powell. You're bound to find another job eventually. I did hear that looking for keepers at the zoo. Hey, Jude!
Smith, where the hell do you think you're going?
How's it going?
Are you out of your mind? She's going to skin you alive.
Smith, will you get out here?
Let her rave. Don't worry, Mrs. Powell. I'll be with you in a second.
Listen, Smith, get out here now or get some officers to drag you out.
Listen, did you bring the stuff?
All right, don't you move.
You're out of your mind.
Hey, for Pete's sake, come on!
Listen, go, please. I just saw Jerry now, and he said you might be in trouble.
Yeah, well, maybe we are, but I'm not going to let her see it, am I? Not old po-face. I'll see you later.
Don't you think we're in enough trouble as it is without all that going on?
You know trouble with you, Chrissy? You have no sense of adventure.
Well, yes, sir. Yes, of course, I understand. Yes. Yes, naturally. Very well, sir. Yes, goodbye. Well, the Minister has authorised me to read to this meeting the result of the inquiry into the fire at Wentworth. This statement will be released to the press later this afternoon. Having examined all evidence closely, we find that the fire at Wentworth Detention Centre was deliberately and criminally lit. Inquiries have revealed that one of the victims of the fire, Barbara Louise Fields, was involved in a conspiracy to steal confidential documents from the administration block, and that the other victim, Heather Raylene Trapp, started the fire as a diversion. Trapp used a homemade firebomb and apparently had no idea how lethally volatile the device was. Both Fields and Trapp died in the resulting fire. This conspiracy had been timed to coincide with a planned assault on one of the prison officers by another inmate, Beatrice Ellis Smith. Separate charges will be following for this assault, which had no bearing on the cause of the fire. Smith will be charged with assaulting an officer and conspiring to destroy prison property, and Latham with willful destruction of prison property. Their cases will be heard by the visiting justice on his next round.
And poor Mouse is the bunny again.
Oh, come off it, Lizzie. How much more?
Not many. We're nearly finished.
It's bloody typical of the Screws. They tell us to get this lot done, then they take 2 women out. They could have at least given us someone else.
Screws would never think of that.
How come Bea and Chrissy went anyway?
They reckon the cops are pushing to get them charged with the fire, probably asking them some more questions.
Oh, bugger it. Now look what I done.
Don't worry, the Screws will never notice that.
Hey, come on, you lot. You'll never be finished in time for the party.
Excuse me. Where have you been? We've been working.
Well, we've been to see the governor, and they've decided who started the fire.
Who be?
Mouse and Barbara. Oh, rubbish. Mouse couldn't even strike a match without being showed how.
Yeah, well, that's what the cops had come up with. It was the only way they could explain Barbara being in the Gov's office.
I reckon Mouse started to cover for Barbara being in there.
Doesn't make sense. It's stupid.
Well, we're not going to argue with it, are we, Lizzie? It gets Bea and me off the hook.
And poor old Mouse gets another black mark against her, even if she is 6 foot under.
Mouse wouldn't bother about that. She didn't even have any family to worry about her. And she'd be happy to think that she got you off another charge, Bea.
Yeah, I suppose. Oh, one more thing. I reckon we should make the Savo's party a wake for Mouse and Barbara.
Yeah, bloody oath. Good idea. We'll give her a true blue send-off.
Excuse me, but if we don't get this lot done, we won't be having a party.
Oh, you're worse than the bloody Screws, Maxie.
Yeah, much as I hate to admit it, she is right, though, so come on.
Here are the duty rosters, Mrs. Powell.
Oh, thank you. Mrs. Davidson. I've been wondering... Look, would it be better if I resigned?
Better for whom?
The department, Wentworth. I was partly to blame.
You heard the result of the inquiry, Mrs. Powell. Heather Trapp started the fire.
You don't believe that any more than I do.
True, but there are times when we have to fall in line with the department's wishes. If you were to resign now, it could be misinterpreted. When I said I was going to make changes, Mrs. Powell, I was not referring to you. You're far too valuable.
Thank you.
Oh, hi. Hey, listen, do you know anything about hemming? I always get it crooked.
So do I. My rent. I'm paid up now, okay?
Hey, where'd you get this?
Does it matter? You went crook on me for not paying my way, so I'm paying.
You know, your finances go up and down like a yo-yo. 1 minute you're broke, the next minute you're loaded.
Well, if you really must know, I pawned a few things. A damn good camera that I'd never even used and a watch my mother gave me.
Oh, Jane, there was no need to do that. I mean, I could have waited for the rent.
Well, it's done now, okay? You know, you really get me. I came here because my old man used to beat me up and you treat me like public enemy #1. If I'd come straight from jail, you would have greeted me with open arms.
What do you want?
I got the receipt for your rent.
Oh, well, just shove it under the door or give it to me later.
Listen, what are you up to in there?
Nothing. Just leave me alone, will you?
Where's the booze? In me bed. I collect it from the others. Hey, don't spill any.
All right, but we've got to get a move on back before the screws find the bottles missing.
Oh, we'll be all right. They won't go in the rec room before the party. Hurry up. Here.
What's up, B? You don't seem too happy about us winning.
Not out of the woods yet. Still, it was nice to have the department by the short and curlies for once. I just don't like the idea of Mouse copping the blame for it, that's all. I know she could be a pain in the neck, but it still leaves a nasty taste in my mouth.
Look, she's dead, isn't she? And like Lizzie said, she would have been pleased she was helping us out.
Yeah, I guess. But if I hadn't been so keen on getting the freak, Mouse might still be alive.
B. It was an accident. If Mouse had stuck with Paddy, she would have got out. Same with Barbara. She could have got out with the rest of them if she hadn't gone running off to the Gov's office. You can't blame yourself, love. Bleeding Margot's got more to feel guilty about.
Yeah, I suppose. At least we got rid of the freak.
Come on, it's party time. Let's go and give absent friends a good send-off, eh?
Yeah, okay. Eat, drink, and be merry.
Hey, what do you reckon about the bike poster? Pretty good, eh?
Oh, I never knew you were into brunettes, Maxie.
Not the bird, the bike. It's a Moto Guzzi. And that's what I'm going to get when I get out of here.
Terrific, but do we really have to have posters of birds on bikes all over the rec room?
Oh, I wouldn't mind if it was a bloke.
Well, it's not my fault. I asked you to bring me in a bike poster, and that's what she brought in.
That figures.
Sure does.
Well, don't pick on me. It's not my fault.
Good evening, ladies. Now, what are you going to have? I've got lemonade, orange, cola, creamy soda, and the secret ingredient.
Oh, I'll have a bit of cola.
Yeah, well, what am I going
What should... Hello, Mrs. Powell. Come to join the party?
No, I haven't.
Like a drink, Mrs. Powell.
Listen, you lot. There'll be no noise in here. Otherwise, you can go straight back to your cells for the rest of the day.
Now you heard, Mrs. Powell. There'll be no noise. So there'll be no communal hymn singing.
Yeah, come on, Lindsay, give me a drink.
You going out?
Oh, yeah, they're going to have a party at Wentworth to celebrate them going back.
Well, what about the shop?
I think I'll close early. We're not going to lose many customers the way things have been going lately.
Fair enough.
G'day.
Afternoon, Miss Bryant. I understand you got a woman called Hazel Kent staying here.
No. I mean, we did, but she left a while ago.
Well, how long ago?
Well, look, is something wrong? Is she in some sort of trouble?
Well, could be. Just want to ask her a few questions, that's all. She gave a real estate agent some cash for a bond and a month's rent on her house. Since then, she hasn't been back in touch with him.
I mean, it's hardly a crime to try and get a place to live, is it?
Well, it is when the money comes from the proceeds of an armed robbery.
You sure?
The serial number's checked with a heist in Perth 3 weeks ago.
Perth? I mean, she'd never go to Perth.
Do you mind if we have a look round her room?
Well, she was sharing with someone. I mean, you just can't go barging in there like that, you know?
We, do have a warrant.
Well, in that case, let me show you the way.
Look, I told you, leave me alone, will you?
Jean, the cops are here. They got a warrant to search the room.
Oh, hang on. I won't be a minute. What's up?
Well, Hazel's in a bit of trouble. She's been passing stolen money.
Well, she's not here. She didn't leave anything.
We know that, Mrs. Carter, but we'd like to have a look around anyway.
Aw, Jean, you're supposed to keep this room tidy.
Well, I'm sorry. The maid hasn't been in today.
How long have you been sharing this room with Miss Kemp?
Long enough.
You didn't like her?
Oh, she was all right. For a booze artist.
I thought you ran a dry ship here,
Yeah,
Miss
I
Carter.
do. Sometimes they sneak it in.
Did she leave anything else behind?
No, I told you.
Did she ever say anything about where she might be heading?
No. All she ever talked about was getting her kids back and boozing. Hey, that's mine.
All right, Gary. Did Kent ever tell you anything about her family, aunts, cousins or someone?
No. Look, why all these questions? She was no friend of mine. I just had to share a room with her, that's all.
All right, Mrs. Carter. Just checking. Mrs. Barbara Veitch.
It belongs to a friend of mine. I've got to give it back to her.
Then you won't mind me running a check on it, will you?
No, of course not.
Gary, send Jim up, will you?
In the rec room at the old Wentworth Nick. Lizzie got drunk, Maxie went punk, and I got disgustingly sick.
Yeah.
Bev passed out under the table, Lil passed out under the chair. When Margot passed out, the party was great. But Po-Face turned up at 7:45. Discovered that B had passed out the gate.
Beauty butler, Chrissy, that was terrific. Come on, Angie, hit the flaming thing.
I knew that wall hanging would come in use for something.
Hey, hang on. Keep it down a minute, will you? Otherwise we'll have Po-Face back in here. Look, I think it's been a damn good party. And I reckon we deserve it too, let off steam after the last couple of weeks. But there's a few people we've got to thank. First of all, we should thank Davo for giving us permission to have the party. And then we should thank Lizzie and her friends at Woodridge. It was a But I don't want you to forget the other reason why we're here. We're all used to seeing faces come and go in here. Women come in, you make friends with them, and then they leave. Some come back, some don't. Barbara wasn't in here very long, and she didn't make too many friends. But no one deserves the rotten deal she got. As for Mouse, she's a bloody nuisance most of the time, wasn't she? Always poking her nose in where it wasn't wanted. And under your feet. But she was one of us. And...
Yeah, well, here's to Mouse and Barbara. God send.
Thanks, Chrissy.
I told you, love. You got nothing to feel guilty about.
Oh, come on, you lot. It's supposed to be a party, isn't it? I'll make with the party.
Yeah. 20 to nothing, my way. Are you ready? Oh, yeah, that was my fault.
Better, wouldn't it?
He used to give me roses. I wish he could again. But that was on the outside, and things were different then. On the inside, the sun still shines, and the rain falls down. The sun and rain are prisoners too.